All right, it looks like we are live. Hi, Leo, that's you guys. This is Terra Illumination, and this is your September 2019 report. Oh, hold on. No wonder I can't see. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, here we are. So, we're going to do a mixture. It's going to be some Astrodoodles mixed with the cards over here. I'm going to go over this in just a moment. But we're going to go when we go into the cards. I'm going to be focusing on the crucible spread. It's about love and relationship, and the reason I'm doing that now is because the vast majority of interest on the personal readings and so on is there's almost always some component of a particular one-on-one relationship. Okay, I'm not going to go more define it more than that, but it's so much that I think we need to use this spread. We're going to use the Crucible spread. Some of you know this already. It's a Terra Illumination spread designed to allow for you, Leo, a significant other, and the third entity. It's a living thing itself called the relationship, okay? So we'll find out more of that in a moment. Let's look at this. So these are just generic notes for the whole month for everybody. I'm sharing them with everybody, but I'm going to focus just on the highlights for these generic videos. We have the new moon in Virgo right at the very tippy beginning of the month. I'm sorry these videos are so late, so you've had very little advance notice. The actual new moon is at the very end of August, but it spills over into September because it's so big. 5 planets, like a huge stellium, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, all the personal planets piled up right there. So that is going to impact you in that certain part of your life, okay? You'll see in a moment. The full moon is at the middle of the month, almost exactly, the 13th, 14th, the moon in Pisces opposing all of this energy. So what's that going to show up? What is going to be exposed here? Things shift towards the end where the sun moves into Libra. That'll be more comfortable for you, and we'll have the Libra new moon at the very end, more comfortable for you. But I'm going to focus on mostly on this stuff here because that's kind of awkward, let's just say. So have a look. This is your Astrodoodle. It's a compilation, really. It's not a real chart. I cherry pick things for the whole month. I go through the whole month, day by day, moon by moon, hour by hour, and I just cherry pick stuff, okay? So these are the yellow highlights, okay? Virgo new moon right over here in your second house of money, value, values, resources, talents, and gifts. Full moon over here, the middle of the month, over here in your 8th house of other people's money, resources, talents, and gifts in a situation of deep merger with you. What does that look like? It might be something to do with business because Jupiter's right here in your business house. Fun, true love, romance, creativity, creative self-expression, which is great on its own, but it's in a hard T-squared alignment with the Virgo Pisces axis. So we need to allow for that. So this is going on all month. That's why I've highlighted it here. At the same time, with the Virgo new moon over here at the very beginning of the month, there's a lot of emphasis in your second house of money, worth, values, talents, gifts, resources, self-worth, values, value systems, okay? And because it's a new moon, you might have to be considering, like, how am I going to reconfigure all this? Because you'll know a lot more by the middle of the month about what is not working for you in terms of, like, just say money and business deals between you and a significant other, or you and the rest of the world, as reflected back to you from certain specific others. So you will know it and you will feel it, and then you'll have to figure it out and in a nice sweet way come back to the new moon in Libra over here. It's like, relief. Now I understand what Terra Illumination was talking about. Okay, so I don't want to go into a lot of detail here. This just is an overview. I use these in personal readings, but this is just like a snapshot just for the public readings. All right. If we need to, we'll go back to that. So let me, cards are already shuffled in advance, okay, but I'm going to go to the last second so that you're a witness. No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals, but we are going to have some oracles at the end. By the way, I keep forgetting. I'm going to check in with you guys, make this personal, a little bit more friendly. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Here we are. Greetings, Leo. So this one's all about you. I don't know what's going to come up here. Uh, Having the Astrodoodles is kind of like a security blanket for me, and so I'm sharing that with you. And I hope it resonates in some way, because it's the beauty about the astrology is that it's like it's well established, it's well known, it's verifiable. It has a sense of comfort that comes with it. Okay, now let's get back to you. All right. Okay, so I hope to check in at the end, or maybe we'll have to check in earlier. We'll see. Hold on. All right, let's get to the spread itself. Cards are well shuffled, like I said. I'm going to go to the last second, the very, very last second. So let's bless this deck, bless every card. Okay, Leo, invite your invisible friends. I would, hands over heart, a few deep breaths, and just settle in and enjoy. Watch, pretend you're just watching a little Netflix movie and you're the star. Okay. And we also have a co-star. You'll see in a moment. So what are you radiating? You think of yourself like a smartphone. You're always transmitting and receiving energy. What is the nature of that? You could even think of it as your aura. Okay? And the same thing goes for over here, a significant other or others. Deep down inside of you, deep down inside of the other, and at the very core of the relationship itself. Now, this is the thing I was talking about. This is the crucible. This is a bowl type structure. Okay? Can you see that? All right? It looks like this from above. Crucibles are designed to withstand intense pressure of alchemical reactions in a laboratory, which, guess what? It's exactly what happens in human relationships as we intimate and separate. Individual with individual. In love, separated. Loving, being loved. Okay, all of that. You can also think of this as a potted plant. And what is the nature of the big, big terracotta plant? Is it leaky, cracked, broken? Does it need maintenance? Is it flexible? Is it on good foundations? Is it well maintained? And what is actually growing here? Ta-da! All right, and of course, if you go back to nature again, without all that, with all this emphasis here, let me show you. All this green stuff, that's heavy-duty earth energy for everybody, including you, Leos. 5 planets in Virgo over here, 2 in Capricorn over here, 1 in Earth, Taurus over here. That's a ton of Earth energy. So it's very stabilizing wherever it lands, okay? So think of this as a potted plant, and you're surrounded by nature and all the elements and the planets and your environment, your circumstances. I think of it as the planets mostly. I love to blame the planets. And what's that like for you, your surroundings? All right, let's have a look. So we've got the 7 of Wands here. So to me, this feels awkward again, because it's like this Virgo Pisces axis is, to me, it feels like it's actually kind of a difficult place for you. It's so easy to deal with things when it's on the really hard angles. You really know them. Very challenging, very stressful. Like the 4th house, the 10th house, the 7th house. Okay, something like that. But we're off the angles here, so we're in the mix of things. And my feeling is that it's almost like you would rather have an open enemy to play with rather than having subtle issues that are hard to figure or define or name or understand. But that's kind of what I'm feeling here. It's like a kind of a murky energy, which is basically taking you almost like reluctantly into an awkward position where you're having to defend yourself. But why? What? I mean, what am I doing wrong? I mean, well, where's all this coming from? Well, it's just, think of it as the weather, you know. Uh, Weather is constantly shifting and changing, and right now, this is not a bad thing. My feeling is that you can grow from this. There's a lot of pressure around you. Let's just say maybe it's to do with money, skills. Are you being compensated fairly for who you are, how you are, the way you do things? Okay, and you are striving. You've already striven your best, and you're getting lots of what might feel like opposition. Like, well, what the bleep? How rude. Do you understand who I am? You're dealing with a Leo. Excuse me. Thank you very much. Why am I being pressured to have to protect and defend myself here? Okay, well, there is a lot at stake because, number one, if you look at the 6th house, you could call that maybe day jobs. And you look at the 10th house, that could include like full-on career, destiny. So a lot of this is, let's say, on the radar right now, and it has value. It has measurable value. So I think this is, to me, it feels very awkward in that it almost feels like you might feel like you're being not boxed in, but the headlights are on you to really pay close attention about self-worth and the worth of others. And is everything in balance? Are you being truly appreciated and valued by the world around you? Are you truly valuing the input and ingredients from certain significant others? Okay. And how is that factoring into your day job or your day-to-day habits and practices to get through and cleanse and refine and purify your life, which impacts your career? And by the way, the whole theme about the Virgo new moon is about refining, cleansing, purifying that aspect of your life and your world. So you might be reluctantly getting pressured to do like almost like a scientific examination about your value, your values, your finances, your skills, your talents, and what are you going to do with that? So to me, it feels uncomfortable. I just have to tell you, it's a lot of pressure. You're going to deal with it uh, because you can and you have to. Let's have a look. What are you radiating here? Okay, again with the strength card here, it makes me feel as that you're really being put on the spot reluctantly. Like, seriously, I don't need this right now. I have so much other stuff to do. Why am I having to deal with the things that Terra Illumination has just been talking about? Uh, Please, can anybody explain? Well, it's just like, let's just think of it as a chapter. And let's just say you've already got well-established patterns about what works for you. You've got it down, okay, Leo? You've got this down. You're already in Leo. You're already being awesome, okay? But with this Virgo new moon pressure, my feeling is just like, it's almost like, okay, it's almost like there's an apology coming at you from heaven, like, I'm sorry we have to do this, Virgo. I'm sorry we have to do this with you, Leo, but we are here to let you know that you're going to have to up your game even more than ever before and take your already magnificent light and love and energy into a more spiritualized, more devotional uh, expression and use of your talents and gifts and resources, like in the service of, gosh, with Virgo, I can't help it. It's health. It's to do with health and refining and cleansing and purifying. So this might sound strange, Virgo, but it's almost like to me, it feels like you are being pressured to refine, cleanse, clarify, improve, polish, uh, examine, and organize your value, your values, systems, your money, your worth, your self-worth, and how that is reflecting back to you from significant others as a practice for yourself. You have to do that for yourself now because that's how you're going to understand how this is going to make sense when how you relate to the rest of the world. Uh, so so that you like have meaning for being here. You have value, you have recognition, and you are appreciated in the way that you need to be. Okay. So to me, this looks like a lot of pressure to do basically a lot of reconfiguring habits, practices, values, value systems, figuring out who are you relating to and how and why. Are you with the right people at the right time for the right purpose, for the right reasons? Are they the right people to be with you? Are you the right person for them? If not, get out, okay? And you might be feeling that as a pressure in some way. And because anything that doesn't work for you is going to diminish your earnings and your value in the workplace and diminish your value in your destiny in your career. So it's almost like you have to do this. So what does this look like from the perspective of another? Okay, my feeling is that these are two really big cards here, and they're very different energies. My feeling is that it's hard for me to explain it or justify it with the astrology or the cards themselves, but it feels to me like you're really being squashed into a corner and you're having to protect and defend yourself. And even though you're already awesome, it's almost like, you know, Why is anybody or everything bugging me? Why is Tarot Illumination giving me this reading? It doesn't make any sense at all. I'm already awesome. You're telling me to upgrade? I'm already pretty upgraded. And then it's just like, gulp. And Tarot Illumination has to deliver this message, which feels very awkward for me. And that in turn makes it difficult for your significant other or significant others because they're not used to seeing you like this. Most Leo, you're so good at presenting yourself in a way that is good for the world, good for the planet, being the star, being the shining light. And then when, let's say, the heavens are like pulling you over to the side and saying, Leo, we've got some serious upgrades to do here, new starts and new beginnings and all that stuff. And all that stuff is happening on an open stage, okay? And one of the worst things that can happen to a Leo is to be, let's say, made uncomfortable or fingers pointing while they are in the public spotlight. Okay, and so that could come out and radiate out from you as energy that's really like almost like not your style. In other words, it's almost like you're having to publicly defend and protect yourself, caught off guard. You're like one of those news programs where they when they find a really amazing politician or a business person or somebody or some kind of star, and they're coming out of a public setting somewhere, and they get totally ambushed, and there's a bunch of people with microphones and cameras in the face saying, "Hey, Mr. Leo or Mrs. Leo or Miss Leo or Mr. whoever, can you please tell us about blah 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 blah?" And like, why are you having so many problems with blah 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 blah? And you're like, well, wait a minute, I'm just coming out from a party or for dinner about my own awesomeness and my with friends and family. Like, leave me alone. But they don't leave you alone, and so it puts other people in a very awkward place. Like, oh my God, this is bad for Leo. This is really, really bad for Leo. It makes it very awkward for me, for us. Like everybody who's on Team Leo is now feeling your awkwardness, your challenges. And it's almost like it becomes their challenge now. And that's disorienting because, you know, you wouldn't, in your magnanimity, in your generosity, you wouldn't want to normally dump your problems on anyone or everyone else. You make it your business to take care of your business. But it looks like you're getting kind of blindsided here, almost ambushed. And that just makes it awkward for everybody else on Team Leo. Like, oh, this is really awkward. How am I going to deal with that? Okay. And they don't actually know how to deal with it. But my feeling is that they're very, very aware of this energy out here that is impacting you. Because in a secondhand way, it's impacting them as well. Like, oh my gosh, this is having like a ricochet effect on us or me. Oh, ouch. Like again, take that movie star story kind of line where you're coming out of like an event or something or a private dinner and you've got your sweetheart on your hand, your arm, your elbow, and they're caught in the same limelight as you, but it's nothing to do with them. It's not their problem. So it's almost like, oh my God, I have to cover my eyes. I have to like, oh, this is awkward. And that makes it awkward for you because you don't want to, you know, operate or conduct yourself in the world or in the public or in your destiny or your career or the workplace in a way that's not becoming of you, okay? In a way that's not becoming of your significant others, okay? That is not definitely not Leo cool. Okay, deep down inside of you, what's happening here? Okay, this feels like it's almost very befuddling. I think this is very much to do with the Virgo energy. It's almost like it's too much, too quickly on a very awkward, delicate part of your being right now. And the Virgo energy it's almost like kind of moderating itself as you deal with this awkwardness here. Okay. And so the way I'm seeing the high priestess here, it's very much to do with the Virgo energy in a very kind of pristine, pure kind of way, where deep down you're going to deal with it. You're going to deal with the storyline that's coming out here, and you will know what you need to know when you need to know it, not before, not after, only in the moment, in the now, and it will come to you in the form of divine guidance, divine protection, some kind of, let's say, spiritual knowingness. Part of that is going to happen, but also there's another message I'm getting here is that this is what you are hoping is going to happen, because it's almost like you have no way to actually control or handle with any of this stuff. The only way you can handle it is just by dealing with it, wishing it was never there and it never had to happen in the first place, but it's happening anyway. And there is a mystery to it. There is a purpose, but it's not going to reveal itself till later in the month. And this, the first time you watch this video, for example, it might not make sense, but later on it will, towards the end of the month, was as more and more is revealed to you. So again, I feel this adds to the awkwardness, but this is in fact a buffer. This is actually helping you. Deep at the soul level, you might be talking to yourself or talking to your invisible friends, your loved ones, saying, please, please, please tell me what the bleep to do, because I don't really know. What do I need to know? Just tell me. Please, please, please tell me. And they respond accordingly. Nothing more, nothing less. They're not going to give you more than you can handle. They're not going to deprive you of what you need to know. It's going to be just divinely ordained, okay? Deep inside of the others over here. Okay, more huge cards. This is, looks like a very fated kind of reading. So with the Tower energy over here, my feeling is I don't want to turn this into actually a love relationship reading, okay? I think that would disserve you, so I'm going to keep it big and wide, kind of like I'm doing already here. So with the Tower card over here, with the significant others, or with significant others, chosen people, perhaps in like characters who are involved in your world of like the day job, your day-to-day activities, or your section here to do with destiny, your life mission, your purpose here on the planet. Let's just say those people or that person, I mean, who knows which one it could be anyone in here, whatever one it is, they're going through, a lot of people do call this a tower moment. I mean, I can see why, but to me, it feels like it's almost like a side effect of them being with you, where as things feel like, I'm not saying they're crumbling for you, but as things get squeezed under a lot of pressure here for you, it's having a knock-on like boomerang or ripple effect over here with a significant other, and it's really catching them off guard too, just in the way that you've been caught off guard. But they don't have any way to protect and defend themselves because they're deep in it. Again, back to the story of being with a significant someone who, in your arm in arm, you're coming out of like a nice restaurant or something, or just some personal time, and then bam, the lights are on you. News reporters or emails or communications or something, and they're ambushed just like you're ambushed, and it could really, really rock them and shake them. I mean, they're going to be okay. They're going to be just okay, but they're going, remember, I don't know if any of these people over here are interested in tarot illumination or not, but if they get readings and things, they would be discovering their own particular journey. And if they're going on, if something's happening in their life, in their world, where deep down, it's, I'm not saying devastating, but there are some deep, deep shock waves, okay, that are affecting them. And it's happening in the context of this love and this relationship here. It doesn't even have to be a love relationship exactly like romance, but it could be business, career, job. Gosh, I keep having to go back to this. Job, career, destiny. You might be dealing with someone, Leo, who's having a lot of problems in that part of their life, okay? Okay? What does it mean for them? What happens if they're having financial breakdowns or career breakdowns or emotional breakdowns or some kind of breakdown which might not be anything to do with you, or it might be a direct like side effect of being with you. What does that mean? Let's look at the core of the relationship itself to have an idea. Okay, so I've got the Four of Wands here. So my feeling is that deep down, what you would really, really like to do is turn this whole thing around into your favor. Literally, basically, it's almost like totally going like awesome, big, big Leo. In other words, I'm not just going to be sitting here taking care of this stuff. I'm not just going to be sitting here understanding and watching the Tarot Illumination report for Leos. I am going to do something about this. I am not messing around. I am Leo. I am not messing around. I'm going to do something about this. And I know what the importance is. I get it, what you're talking about, Tarot Illumination. So I'm just going to take care of business. And the way we do that is we kind of do it like a very, very skillful politician, pop star, rock star. They turn all this stuff that's not working with them, for them, into something amazing. In other words, like it's almost like improv. You know how improv actors have to work in the moment, and then suddenly something really challenging happens and they realize, oh my God, the lights are on me. I've got to turn this around. I've got to make this thing awesome, even though it's actually really challenging. And then they do it. And it becomes like, wow, how do we do that? So what happens is Leo turns it around and says, you know what? I'm going to take full advantage of this. I'm not going to be a victim here. I'm not going to be a victim here. I'm not going to let the people that I love and care about be victims here. I'm going to do something about it. I have something awesome. I am amazing. I am awesome. I am loving. I am loved. Watch this, people. In other words, it's almost like, just imagine this. I mean, this is taking this reading to the extremes, but let's follow on from that storyline where the Leo is caught off guard, the partner's caught off guard, cameras and lights are in your face. Like, hey, what's going on, Leo? What are all these challenges that you're having? How are you going to do with it? How are you going to upgrade? How are you going to refine your game? How are you going to get it together with money, finances, career, jobs, day jobs, everything? And you're absolutely raging furious about this. And then you realize, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Everybody, come over to my place. Get comfortable, set up all your cameras and lights, and we're going to do an interview. And I'll tell you how we're going to do this. It's going to be awesome. And then everyone else kind of goes, oh my gosh, wow, how did you do that, Leo? And Leo says, well, it's because I'm a Leo. Didn't you know that? Don't you understand? I can pull these things out of the hat. I have amazing gifts, talents, and resources. Unlimited right here. So watch this, people. Watch this. And then you turn it all into your favor. You realize you have something good. You have all sorts of talents, gifts, and resources. So take advantage of it. Turn it all into your favor. Okay, this is taking it even further. So you take it to the point where you actually play to this. Is realize it's almost like, let me tell you, people. I am Leo, and I know you think I'm a Leo and I'm amazing all the time. And yes, most of the time I am. But I have to tell you, I've been through my own grief, my own sorrow, my own suffering, just like you guys. And let me tell you what's happening right here with you guys right now. All the people who are out there challenging me, my life, my world, scrutinizing the heavens, the planets, pushing me to evolve and grow. I get it. I get it. And then at that moment, you have a strategic breakdown on camera, Tarot Illumination style. And then people understand and realize, oh my God, you're for real. You are serious, Leo. You are for real. And everybody understands, like, oh my gosh, we've never thought about it from this perspective before, Leo. It's almost like, I'm sorry, we're sorry. So what can we do? And then Leo comes back in with the little Two of Cups about how you regenerate love out of tragedy, how you turn it all around, how you turn trauma and like tragedy into something beautiful. Okay, it's almost like rewriting a script where everything looks like it's all going to fall apart, and then you rewrite it, and you're not the hero, Everyone's the hero here. Everyone gets to live through this with you. In fact, you are the hero, but you're doing it in such a way that everyone else feels as though they're the hero. They've lived through their own tragedies and traumas, and you're just pointing it out to them. And then you can just gracefully kind of slip over there and like watch your own movie about like action replays. Like, wow, that's really amazing. I actually did that. I actually turned this all around. Hey, honey, can you see that? Did you see what I just did? That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Wow, it freaked me out. I had no idea you could pull that out of your hat. I didn't actually, but I had no idea either, but I did it. Oh, yeah. So, as tragic as this might look, as sad as this might look, I think it's actually very beautiful. Okay? Now, you can reinterpret this however you want. It's your privilege. I do this for you. I'm going to give you a little oracle here. It's Romance Angels. I hope this helps. And think of it as like a, let's see, not maybe dessert, but some people call it afters. In England, they call it afters. Some people do. You know, it's like you've had your main meal, but you just want a little tiny thing left over. Hold on a second. I just realized something. Cheers. Hey, let me check in before I forget. I've been so absent-minded making these reports for September. I keep forgetting to check in with everybody. Hello, Leo. This is Star Illumination. I'm doing everything I can to help you. I love doing these things with you and for you. I hope the storyline makes sense there. By conveying this to you as sort of like a movie, then it helps. I'm hoping it helps you to transpose everything in such a way that you become the star and the hero. And I'm not talking about specific details. I'm talking about the theme and the feel of it, you know? So you come out fine in the end, okay? You might have had to use a box of tissues by the very end, but you're still the star and you still win and you actually benefit from all of this. Okay, let's keep going. We have more. So we're going to use the Romance Angels deck to put a little bit of color here. Hold on, bear with me. Cards are already well pre-shuffled in advance. I'm just going to pick one here for you. I got to do it again. Give me a moment. Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it. We have here soulmate. Okay, dear Leos, yes, this is your soulmate. Whoever we're talking about here, you might know exactly who we're talking about, or it might not be so clear. Not everybody recognizes their soulmate when they're there. And we have lots of soulmates, by the way. Hold on, I passed it. Hold on. Here it is. All right. So look at the picture. It's a very simple picture here. Oddly enough, unlike almost all the cards in the Romance Angels decks, I do not see any Romance Angels here. Not one. I'm looking very hard, but I can't see it. I can't see them. Okay, I guess there's a lot of trust here. Let's see. You chose this card because you wonder if a certain person is your soulmate, and the answer is yes. As we all do, you have many soulmates, beings with whom you share a mystical soul connection and life path. Soulmates incarnate with the plan of coming together for mutual spiritual and personal growth. As you suspected, the person you're inquiring about is one of your soulmates. That sense of familiarity and comfort you felt when you first met also indicates your soulmate bond. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate? Or will I ever meet my soulmate? As a validation that this will occur. So many times this is a person whom you know already. Although romantic sparks didn't fly at first, you'll have another opportunity to explore passion together. So in my own experience, we have lots of soulmates, okay? And some of the soulmates that you might attract into your life, or who might be where you might be attracted into someone else's life as a soulmate, they're not always comfortable, okay? But they are always good for spiritual growth, evolution, and healing, okay? Sometimes the most advanced and most powerful forms of healing can only occur in love and relationship at the level of soulmate. And that can put a tremendous amount of pressure on you, on the other, and the relationship itself. Okay. So in this particular reading, it looks like it's a pretty high pressure situation, but you do prevail. Okay. And it looks like it's important to see the significant other from the perspective of soulmate as opposed to just someone who happens to be there. Now we're going to read from Nature's Whispers, okay? Because I'm using this to refer to the big green triangle I showed you, the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy. Very, very earthy. 5, 6, 7, 8 planets. Just imagine that. 8 planets in Earth sign on the Virgo new moon. Freaky, huh? So we're going to play to that. We're going to take full advantage of that. Cards are well shuffled in advance. We're just going to pull one. You trust the process. Okay. Just give me a second here. I need to get comfortable myself. Here we are. We got it already. Wow. All right. Let's have a look. It says here, culmination of vision. Okay. So you can see it pretty clearly here. There she is, very, very deeply, I guess, immersed in creative visualization, and things are starting to manifest. Over here, there are actually 2 other close friends who I think are actually versions of herself, okay? Like seeing it all happen. It's almost like she's here, and here's a higher version of herself, and here's the creative visualization version of herself in full spirit, and she gets to witness the whole thing. Let me get the book here and I will read that particular one for you. Give me a second. It says, culmination of a vision. Let me just grab the card. It's time to take positive action toward your goals and dreams. That might be something to do with the 6th house and the 10th house, work, day jobs, career, and destiny. How do your goals and dreams factor into day jobs and destiny? Okay. Be adaptable and fine-tune any of the details of what you are creating. Wow. Okay. So that's the Virgo energy. Refine, cleanse, clarify, purify, fine-tuning. Reflect on your desires and make sure your attitudes and beliefs are in alignment with what you wish to accomplish. Oh my gosh, that's a dead-on reference to the Virgo 2nd house there. Let go of any aspect or quality that no longer fits what you intend to accomplish. And the hidden message is that tune into the aspects that resonate with you, that do help you to accomplish your vision. I think this is very much about coming into the 10th house energy of vision, like expanding above and beyond what you might call work or day jobs and turning that into a more advanced expression that you might call a career or a vocation or a calling or a mission or a purpose. Okay. Now it's not going to be very predictable because you've got Taurus up here, Uranus and Taurus, but the energy's there. It's very, very supportive for this to happen. Creative visualization is good for you, and seeing an actual culmination, like getting an actual glimpse, that's awesome. So I'm going to check in and say goodbye. That's all we can do for now. Hope to see you in October. I hope this reading helped you, Leos. It's been a pleasure to read for you. Thank you very much. I know it got quite cinematic in there, but anyway, we had a lot of fun. At least I did. Take care. All the best.